What's up, guys? I'm out here in Peachtree Corners in Atlanta at the Path to Fitness. It's still fairly new and it doesn't pop up on Google Maps, so unless you know about it or unless you happen to drive right by it, it's something that you're gonna miss pretty easily. Now, originally I planned on doing a full calisthenics workout out here using some of the equipment that they have, but because there's so many different stations with different exercises that I've never done before, I figured I'll just run through everything once, show you guys how everything works, and maybe you'll get to laugh at me in the process if I can't do something. So without any further ado, I'm gonna get a warm-up going and then we'll give everything a spin. We'll start off with the basics, pull-ups. One thing I really like about these pull-up bars is that there's two different heights. So you have one that's a bit taller here, one that's a little bit shorter. In addition, the bar widths are actually different. So these ones are pretty thick, maybe like a width in diameter, whereas the ones behind me are probably about 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch. So there are two different sizes of the bars as well as how high the bars are. Another thing I really like about these pull-up bars is that they have these little steps here. So if you're working on your pull-ups and you don't quite have the strength to pull yourself up, you can use these steps to grind out your negatives, to build up your pulling strength. And if you need a resource to get your first pull-up, you're in luck, because I have a book, How to Do Your First Pull-Up, which is available for free, and you can get that right now. Next up, nothing fancy, we have some parallel dip bars. Once again, similar to the big pull-up bars, these bars are pretty thick, so that's a good thing for me. But if you're a girl or if you have smaller hands, that might be a negative. Just depends on the size of your hands. But overall, a pretty good set of dip bars. Not so low that it's annoying, but not so high that if you're short, you're gonna have to jump up and struggle to get on these things. Now, I don't think I mentioned it earlier, but this course was actually created by former military members. So I was a little confused initially by why a set of parallel bars would be so high, but I don't think they're supposed to be parallel bars in the dip sense, but this is actually supposed to be something you kind of shimmy across, assuming I'm reading the chart correctly. So it would look something more like this, I believe. Ta-da! The first time I came out here to check this place out, the tire was not here, so this is a relatively new addition, and I've actually never done a tire flip. I'll just do one just to do it, but yeah. Oh, wow, this is, oh my God. Okay. Tires that big are way heavier than I thought they'd be. Next up, we have the inclined climbing wall here with the rope, as well as the normal climbing wall. I can't imagine this one's gonna be too difficult, but I'll go ahead and do it just so you guys can see how it works. And this one doesn't have a rope, and I don't have two cameras, so I'm gonna have to do it twice, but I'll edit it together real nice so it looks like I just have two angles and it was one seamless transition. One take. This would be way harder if it didn't have all these pegs, but also liability risk for the old government goes through the roof, if you know what I mean. Next up, we have what is called the Z wall. It looks like a traversal wall, you know, just a little side-by-side climbing action. So there's actually these same pegs on the other side. So it looks like you can go around and then all the way around the other side. So I'll give you guys a little time lapse of me doing this. Okay, this is the one tricky part. Other than that, you can kind of just hop around this thing. At least that's the strategy I'm taking. Flashed it. Obstacle number 6, and this one's called the bender. Now this one definitely seems to be the most military-esque of the bunch. Definitely has kind of that basic training boot camp vibe to it. And to be honest, I don't know if I'm supposed to go under and then over or start on the other side and come over. Not sure. Either one probably works, but I'm gonna start under and go over and hope I don't fall. I should be all right. Start like this to get me into it. It is high, I'll say that. But definitely doable. And for shits and giggles, I'll go the other way too. Woo! Just in case that way's a little scarier, I guess. Oh. There you go. The bender. These ones are at least a little bit more fun. The first one's just like pull-ups, dips, that's just doing exercises. These are at least like coordination, like different movements I haven't done before. So it's a nice mix. You know, if you're trying to get active, it's a calisthenics park, but you're not just stuck doing rows and dips and pull-ups. Like you can climb the wall, like climb the bender, like it's a little fun. But next up we have what is referred to simply as the monkey bars. So see, it gets pretty high up there, go all the way down. I guess this one I'll do both ways just to do it. So let's get to it. The ground's a little lower than I expected once I got down here, but that counts, right? Also, I forgot my water in my car. That kind of sucks. Time to go up now. And this is gonna be a little bit more difficult because those reaches might not look so high on camera, but you're reaching. All right, you definitely have to match when you're going up, or at least it was easier for me, but still got it done, still flashed it. All right, next up we have the Olympus Wall. This one seems very similar to the Z wall or whatever it's called. Seems like a traverse type obstacle. The only thing here is it's on an incline. I'm not sure what the chains are for, but there are chains placed about a foot apart all along this wall. There are also holes here. I think you can hold those if you want, along with some sort of rock climbing style holds, which are very juggy. So pretty good grip on those. Let's give it a shot. Whoa. The other side of this wall looks just like this side of the wall, so I don't really think it's made to traverse around it to continue. Very similar to the Z wall, just a different style of hold, and rather than being straight up and down, you're at an incline. All right, we finally get a break. No more obstacle courses. Back to the basics of calisthenics. We have an inverted row here. These bars, there's two different heights, like 4 inches difference between the two maybe. If you're struggling with your push-ups, you can just do this. Or if you're trying to get that monster back, if you're trying to get that gorilla back, then you can just do rows like that. Solid setup. Next up, we have the Plyometric Boxes. I don't have much use for these because I don't do much plyometric work, but if you want to do some jump squats like this, you have those here. All right, this is easily the one that's been giving me the most anxiety, and it's because one, I can't really remember the last time I did a rope climb, and two, it's pretty high. There's one rope with knots on it. I don't think that one will be too bad because I'll always feel somewhat secure, but the rope without any knots, we'll see. But either way, chalk the hands just to be safe. You guys know I have a fear of heights. I doubt my rope climbing technique is very good, but I made it up and I topped it. I'll take it. So I didn't use the knots there nearly as much as I thought I would. So I'm gonna give the one without a knot a try, see how far I go. But if I feel like I'm in any danger, then I'm just gonna bail and count it as a loss, I guess. Not gonna lie though, still a little nervous. Maybe try to be a little bit more diligent with my foot on this one. Nope. I'm just gonna muscle it. Let me just show you guys. I'm 6 feet tall, so do the math. This one's called the rope traverse. After that big boy, this should be cake, right? Don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm only wrapping my legs around like this so I don't get rope burn, but easy enough other than the rope burn. We're nearly finished with a path to fitness. This one can kind of be used for two things. Leg raises. So, you know, you could even do a shoulder stand, something like that, or turn it around and use it for sit-ups. Good thing here is they have a flat one here, low incline, medium incline, and a high incline for whatever you need. All right, so this is the last rig we have here. This first one's called the multi-rig. The one next to it is called the Ape Hangar. The only real difference is this one has rings that transitions into a bar that's long ways like this, whereas the Ape Hangar just has bars, kind of like monkey bars. They're hanging by strings or wires or a pulley, so it might be a little hard to hold on to. And honestly, now that I'm here, I think this might be the hardest one. We'll see. Whoa. Easily the hardest. All right, so the multi-rig was definitely the hardest of the bunch, or at least the one I felt like the closest to needing to attempt twice, even though I still did on the first try. The hard thing there is just the rings. Like, you kind of have to generate momentum to grab the next handle. And I think that's the only reason why that one's gonna be harder than this Ape Hangar here, because this is just a bunch of handles. You can kind of just grab the next one like monkey bars. Multi-rig's definitely harder for exactly the reason I described. Well, there you have it. That is the path to fitness here in Peachtree Corners, just outside of Atlanta. Overall, now that I've tried every obstacle and used literally every piece of equipment here, I gotta say it's a great park. Whether you're looking to get a traditional calisthenics workout, just doing pull-ups, dips, push-ups, rows, or if you want to have a little bit of fun, do the monkey bars, do the Z bars. There's a lot of options here, so you can pretty much do whatever you want. And once you're done, there's a little park behind me where you can walk around. There's a grassy area, a park for the kids. There's juice bars, ice cream shops, restaurants, whatever you want. There's plenty of things here to do other than just get a workout in. So if you're not quite sure if this is the spot for you, just grab a bite to eat, walk over here, check it out, and then schedule your workout for another day. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me test out all of the equipment. As always, if you like this video, please like the video and consider subscribing to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. And remember, this tire is heavier than you think.